Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K16 Universe Mode, and this is our next episode of Global Force Wrestling's Amped. We are only now 2 weeks away from our G1 Climax Festival. That's going to take place all of this week here, the first week of month number 2. And of course, next week we have that big championship match as AJ Styles defends his Global Championship against Kazuchika Okada. But before that, let's see what's on tonight's card. Now, I've not actually changed tonight's card at all, and I'm a little bit worried about some of the rivalries, and I'll get a bit more into that as we go through. We're going to start things off with Beer Money taking on reDragon in an elimination tag match. We're going to see the Intercontinental Champion Fenix taking on La Parka. We're going to see a triple threat match here as Shelley takes on Mark Andrews and Matt Sydal. We're going to see the Global Champion AJ Styles taking on the former Intercontinental Champion Jushin Liger. We're going to see Kazuchika Okada taking on Rey Mysterio. And then our main event this evening is going to be Drago taking on the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion Chris Hero. Now, my worry is we only have one rivalry match on this show, and that's going to be Kazuchika Okada taking on Rey Mysterio. I should imagine AJ Styles will get involved in that at some point in time. But my worry is Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes and Pentagon Jr. versus Killshot are both not being part of this show, which worries me slightly. I've already had issues in a couple of my other rosters with feuds getting deleted, and I think this might be another case, but I've sort of left it at the moment. Normally I would try and book the matches myself, but I've sort of left it just in case the game does have higher plans, but we'll see what happens as we go through. And I do actually quite like this card the game has generated for us, so without further ado, let's get straight into our first match. And that first match is going to be an elimination tag match as the Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions Beer Money take on the former Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Tag Champions reDragon. And here we go, going to start things off with Bobby Roode and Kyle O'Reilly in the ring. And now Bobby Roode and James Storm are guys that I might have involved in our Global Force Wrestling G1 Climax Festival. Not quite sure yet who is going to be involved in that. I'm thinking Kyle O'Reilly as well. My random match series, I'm not sure if it's been uploaded as yet, but I have recorded it already. My random match series did bring up Kyle O'Reilly versus Kurt Angle, and that was an absolutely incredible match. And it made me think, do you guys think we should have Kurt Angle involved in Global Force Wrestling? Of course, our Global Force Wrestling roster here does encapsulate TNA as well, and with Kurt Angle being one of the top names in TNA, then surely Kurt Angle should be involved in Global Force Wrestling. What do you guys think? I like that idea, and I think if you guys like the idea as well, then Kurt Angle should make his debut at the G1 Climax Festival in that tournament. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said, I like the idea. We'll still have him work in the Attitude Era roster as well, of course, but just working Global Force Wrestling as a second roster. And if you saw the match between Kurt Angle and Kyle O'Reilly, you will understand exactly why I wanted to get this match in place. The G1 Climax is going to be fantastic as well. Really looking forward to that one. And for those of you guys who don't see my 2K15 Universe Mode, we did the G1 Climax Festival. Essentially, it's going to be 4 groups of 4. Everyone in each group face each other once. The guy with the most victories at the end of the week in each group goes through to a semi-finals, and then of course winners of the semi-finals go through to a final. And then and then we crown our very first winner of the G1 Climax here in WWE 2K16. If the winner is not the global champion, then the winner will get a championship shot. That's the way we work it. Last year on my 2K15 Universe Mode, it was Brian Cage who won the whole thing, and he went on to face Kazuchika Okada, our big finale episode. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who can win it this year. As I said, I'm not 100% sure yet who's going to be in there. This is the reason why we're having our big global championship match between Okada and AJ Styles next week on Amped, because I want to make sure that both those guys are available to be in our G1 Climax Festival. We know, of course, that we are going to have Okada, Tanahashi, and Shinsuke Nakamura in there for definite. I think Prince Puma and Mil Muertes will be in there. Adam Cole, AJ Styles. I think essentially I was thinking of doing like an even amount of European, American, Mexican and Japanese, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to pick 16 guys who I really want to have in this competition, and then I'll probably just draw them out of a hat. Maybe on the very first episode I'll draw them all out of a hat and we'll discover all of our 4 groups. Maybe do that as a short little video before the G1 Climax, just like a draw to show who is going to be in each group. That'd be pretty damn good. I like the idea of that. So yeah, we'll do that after next week's episode probably. We'll upload a separate, let it be a short video, and literally I'll draw 4 names out of a hat basically for each group, and yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to that. It was my favourite concept, like I said, of 2K15, and it is going to make a pretty damn good pay-per-view as well. Of course, the way it works, because there's 4 guys in each group, we probably have 2 groups on the go each night, and each group gets 3 nights worth of matches. So we'll have like Group 1 and Group 2 will be involved on night number 1. Night number 2 will be Group 3 and Group 4. And of course there'll be the odd random match here and there just to help build the card up. Night number 1 to 6 will only be like a 5 or 6 match card, but night number 7, the main pay-per-view, will be a full 7 match card. So that's going to be pretty damn good. Really looking forward to that. And I'm having to do a lot of work beforehand to really build up for that. Trying to get a lot of random matches, a lot of episodes of this recorded up front. And the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed, if you do watch a lot of my universe mode, this is brand new reDragon here this evening. The reDragon that lost the Junior Heavyweight Championships last week to the Sky Blondes have now been replaced by these ones. I think these are a lot better actually, especially the Kyle O'Reilly's fantastic. And I just want to say thank you once again to, I think it's Die Hard Detroit. He is doing some really good work on the PlayStation 4, making a lot of these Ring of Honor cores, and I think I've got about 5 or 6 now just from this one guy alone. And I know he also watches a few of my videos, he's commented as well, so thank you very much if you are watching this one. In for the pin, there goes Bobby Fish. Of course, remember this is an elimination tag match, so both members of one team need to be pinned or either submit for this match to finish off. And it would be bittersweet, I think, if reDragon, of course, lost the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship last week, but a victory here against Beer Money would definitely put them in the shout for maybe a championship match at this belt. Bobby Roode in for the pin. 1, 2... Oh, Bobby Fish just kicks out. I think the referee might have been a bit kind there on Bobby Fish. I think that could have been a free count there. Russian leg sweep there by Bobby Roode on Bobby Fish. And I'm thinking of maybe, of course, we have our big Global Championship match next week, as there's Roode with a Roode bomb, but Kyle O'Reilly was quickly across the ring to break it up. We have got our big Global Championship match next week, and I'm thinking maybe we could have a tag team match next week as well for the tag team championships. I don't think Beer Money have defended these belts once yet. I'm unsure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure whether to save the tag team match for our big pay-per-view, because of course at our pay-per-view there is still a chance at our pay-per-view we will have a global championship match if, of course, the champion, be it either Okada or AJ Styles, has been knocked out of the tournament before the finals or before the semi-finals. Then we will have a championship match at that pay-per-view just to try and build it up as much as we possibly can. Yeah, I think we'll probably save our tag team championship and our intercontinental championship and next gen championship matches all for our big pay-per-view. Of course, night number 7 of that Global Force Wrestling G1 Climax, which again, if you've seen my random match, I'm not sure if it probably has been uploaded by now, between Kurt Angle and Kyle O'Reilly, we do have a fantastic New Japan Pro Wrestling arena set for us, which I'm really looking forward to using. It's a really good looking arena, and that's what we're going to be using the whole way through the G1 Climax Festival. I'll take a sip of my beer just to make things go a lot smoother in this commentary. Elbow to the head there by Bobby Roode on Kyle O'Reilly, now coming across and bringing James Storm back into this one. Storm now sending O'Reilly into that corner. O'Reilly fights back, just grabbing Storm by the hair and throwing him into the corner. Kyle O'Reilly using his agility now for that springboard tornado DDT on James Storm. And remember, this is elimination tag, and really I've seen a few elimination tags already in 2K16, and it seems to be the whoever gets the first elimination goes on to win. And there you go, Kyle O'Reilly from the Brainbuster with a pin on James Storm, and that's one of the things I don't like about this match too much, or this game so much at the moment, is the fact that Kyle O'Reilly just used his finisher maneuver there on James Storm, but because the game knows James Storm's going to kick out, neither of the opponents came in, so that's a little bit annoying. because it does take away a little bit of the excitement when Kyle O'Reilly hits his finisher maneuver and you think he might have the match in the bag, and then the other two teammates don't even come into the ring. You know for a fact that James Storm is going to kick out. So that's a bit frustrating, and I'm hoping that's one of the things that 2K are looking to patch out in the near future. I think they need to do a little bit of work on the tag team matches. The singles matches are great. They really work a lot better this year, but the tag team matches for me do need a little bit of work still. As James Storm lining up. Kyle O'Reilly here. There's that last call super kick. In for the pin goes James Storm. 1, 2. Bobby Roode's across and takes Bobby Fish out, but Kyle O'Reilly managed to kick out at the last possible second on James Storm. Well done to O'Reilly there. Did not expect that one. And now O'Reilly lining up James Storm. Bobby Roode and Bobby Fish on the outside. Oh, James Storm manages to fight out of that brainbuster. Looked like he was going for a last call super kick, and Kyle O'Reilly managed to avoid it. O'Reilly now taking James Storm up onto the top turnbuckle. Here he goes with that super backdrop there on James Storm. Big high impact move by Kyle O'Reilly. Rolling Storm over. Into the pin he goes. 1, 2. Again, it's still only a 2 count here. And I'm still interested with the whole James Storm situation, you know, with NXT. Nothing official has ever been said. I think Storm is still actually working TNA as well as working NXT. So I'm not quite sure if there's any idea to maybe take James Storm on as a permanent member of the roster of NXT, or maybe they're just going to keep using him as a one-off here and there. I'm not quite sure what they've got planned for him. Of course, Austin Aries and Gunner were also backstage at NXT recently. So again, it's interesting to see what TNA do have planned for them. As soon as something gets official with NXT and James Storm, then we will probably do the same thing here with our universe mode. Same thing with Gargano and Ciampa as well, really, because Gargano and Ciampa are both working NXT as well as Global Force Wrestling and Ring of Honor. But as soon as something official is made between NXT and Gargano and Ciampa, then that will be officially done as well. I think if that does happen, then I think James Storm will disappear off to NXT, and Bobby Roode will probably start to tag up with Austin Aries as the Dirty Heels, maybe. Bobby Fish in with a pin. 1, 2, and James Storm was in quickly enough to break it up. And that's probably Bobby Fish not really planning himself out too well there. Was very close to the corner of James Storm. There's a power driver there by Bobby Roode on Bobby Fish. I'm doing very well here. But I don't say to myself, I'm generally quite good at getting people's names wrong. But I think in this case, I'm doing quite well at getting Bobby Roode and Bobby Fish correct. And for some reason, Bobby Roode's just staring at Bobby Fish now. Bobby Roode in for the pin now, and Bobby Fish once again. James Storm across, but it's not quick enough to take Kyle O'Reilly out of the equation, but now he does with that backdrop. And it looks like Bobby Roode is lining. Bobby Roode was lining Bobby Fish up there, and James Storm stole him away into that brainbuster. Kyle O'Reilly now sending Bobby Roode over the top rope and allowing his tag team partner Bobby Fish to get a few extra seconds to try and recuperate, but it might not be enough as Bobby Roode just attacking Bobby Fish from behind and now lining him up once again. Is he looking for another Roode bomb here, maybe? Taking Bobby Fish up. There it is, the Roode bomb. He doesn't go for the pin. Why is he not going for the pin? This is another one of the situations I've found here on tag team matches. They tend to have very odd. They don't do it in single matches. They go for the pin a lot more often, but in tag team matches, they seem to not want to go for the pin as often as they probably should do. As you see, Bobby Fish blocking the last call super kick there. That's the second time James Storm has missed one in this match. Bobby Fish bringing Kyle O'Reilly in. That's probably what he needed to do because Bobby Fish had taken a big beating in this match. O'Reilly now. James Storm in that front chancery. O'Reilly sending Storm across the ring into that corner turnbuckle. And O'Reilly taking James Storm up onto that top corner as well. What does O'Reilly have planned here? Taking the legs of James Storm over. Taking him up. And there's the superplex there by Kyle O'Reilly on James Storm. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Still only a 2 count. Headlock now by Kyle O'Reilly. Elbows to the forehead of James Storm. O'Reilly now going up onto the top. What does he have planned here? It's a big knee drop on James Storm. O'Reilly now spinning Storm round. I'm not quite sure what he's going for there. Another knee as well. Bringing Storm back up to his feet, and we're still yet to have a single elimination in this match, but it has been a very good match apart from that. There's the standing Kimura lock here by Kyle O'Reilly. Bobby Fischer's across and takes Bobby Roode out with that drop toe hold. But it still wasn't enough to take James Storm out of this match. Bobby Fish taking Bobby Roode over the top rope now. Kyle O'Reilly with that tornado DDT. Great move there. In for the pin he goes over James Storm. Bobby Fish has Bobby Roode out of it, and it's still only a 2 count. James Storm with that big left hand, but Kyle O'Reilly caught him right in the back with that kick. James Storm dropping to the ground in agony there. Storm back up to his feet, but O'Reilly's in between Storm and Bobby Roode, and there's a big punt to the back of James Storm as well. And I think once we have a 1 elimination in this match, I think it's been pretty quick to get the second one as well. But this match has been going on for a while now without a single elimination. I know you guys didn't see how long the loading screen was. You only saw the bit I was talking through. God, the loading screen was long. It was like almost 2 or 3 minutes long. Big kick there by Bobby Fish on James Storm. Kyle O'Reilly's in. Can he take Bobby Roode out? And he does. Oh, Bobby Fish eliminates James Storm from this one. And we are down to reDragon versus Bobby Roode. And I tell you what, reDragon, they're forcing their way into the tag team picture here. I know they lost the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships last week, but a big victory here for beer money. You'd think there must be favourites to go for the full championships at G1 Climax. It's only enough for a 2 count there. And Kyle O'Reilly needs to get himself outside the ring, because we've seen before the referee is not afraid to disqualify people in this game. I've seen it quite a few times. I've generally deleted the videos because they're a bit dodgy. Scoop slam there by Bobby Fish, making his way up onto the top rope, and what is he going for here? This could be the end here for Bobby Roode. Bobby Fish, big diving headbutt. Bobby Fish bringing in Kyle O'Reilly. O'Reilly now lining Bobby Roode up. What's he got planned here? Is it going to be another brainbuster maybe? It is. Hooks it up. Takes Bobby Roode up. And there's the brainbuster. And surely that's going to be enough for reDragon to pick up the victory here over the tag team champions beer money. Well, I'll tell you what, if that doesn't get reDragon a championship shot at the G1 Climax Festival, I don't know what does. I am noting that down in my book now. Night number 7 of our G1 Climax Festival is going to see a tag team championship match. reDragon versus beer money. What a great match that's going to be. And I was surprised, because at some points I thought this match was going to be won by beer money, especially Roode hitting a couple of Roode bombs, James Storm hitting at least one last call and missing very, very closely of a couple of others. But still, what a match this has been. And yeah, it's every cloud is a silver lining for reDragon. Like I said, they lost the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships last week to the team of the Skyblondes debuting, Angelico and Jack Evans, and now here they are the next week getting a big victory over the full tag team champions here in Global Force Wrestling. And yeah, going to get an opportunity in a couple of weeks' time at those belts. Not only that, I think it's going to really give them a nice boost as well. Nice momentum boost. Like I said, these are brand new cores into this universe mode. I don't know if that means they lose their momentum. They probably will, won't they? So, a fresh start for reDragon here in this universe mode. This is their first victory in the universe mode, though, so they're not going to pick up any momentum boost until maybe Ring of Honor in a couple of days' time. Maybe we can have a Ring of Honor tag team match as well involving reDragon. I'm very happy with this victory. Like I said, I'm a big reDragon fan, and it's great to see them finally starting to do well in this universe mode. I pushed them and pushed them and pushed them in 2K15, and they never really took the opportunities I gave them, and now it looks like they might be doing that. Well done to reDragon. They're going to get a future Tag Team Championship shot at the G1 Climax Festival in a couple of weeks' time. And here is our second match this evening. It's going to be the Intercontinental Champion Fenix taking on La Parka. And here we go. We've got the Intercontinental Champion Fenix taking on La Parka here. Of course, Fenix won the Intercontinental Championship a couple of weeks back. Or was it last week? No, it was the first episode, wasn't it, of Global Force Wrestling Amped. He won that in a triple threat match off of Liger and Shinsuke Nakamura. And I think he's got a good chance, Fenix, of being involved in that G1 Climax Festival. But like I said, we will find out who is going to be in that and who the groups are next week on a special little short video. Just going to be a draw. And then, of course, that draw will be able to start to build up to our G1 Climax Festival. There are going to be some fantastic matches no matter what. Whoever ends up in what group, because all the top guys are going to be involved, we're going to have some great matches. And of course, La Parka is somebody you can see in the Attitude Era as well. Going to be involved in the Cruiserweight division, and we're going to keep La Parka for a while, but I think he might be someone who might disappear later on in the universe mode. But I do have a plan for a stable for him here in Global Force Wrestling, and that's going to be something that's going to come to fruition soon, hopefully. Maybe after the G1 Climax Festival. And also after the G1 Climax Festival, we've had conversations, and it looks like we are going to have a Global Force Wrestling women's division coming pretty soon. So hopefully that will come into effect after the G1 Climax. I'm thinking maybe an 8-woman sort of tournament to crown our first champion. That will take place over the coming weeks. It's pretty good. And I think at the same time, we might be able to look at doing one for Ring of Honor as well. We do have already some suggestions of women we could use. People like Eva Lise, Sexy Star, Candice LeRae, Gail Kim, Mia Yim, and of course Mia Yim known as Jade in TNA. Awesome Kong. There's some really good names we could use, really. Mickie James is another interesting one that was brought to my attention. Mickie James would work as well as Gail Kim, because then we can use both those ladies as part of the Attitude Era women's division as well, which we will be bringing into effect once we get the downloadable content with Trish Stratus and Lita in there. Fenix there with a Hurricanrana on La Parka. And like I said, Fenix will be probably involved in that G1 Climax Festival, but I think at some point during that week he will also be defending his Intercontinental Championship as well, so it's going to be an interesting one. Not quite sure yet who Fenix is going to defend against. We'll have to play it by ear. I'm trying to stay away. I don't really want to stay away. I'm trying to make it a lot more even this year, because last year I know on 2K15 the Intercontinental Championship was dominated by Nakamura and Ibushi. So I'm trying to give more people an opportunity this year. And there are some people that could be involved in that Intercontinental Championship picture. Got the likes of Tommy End in this game as well. And then maybe guys like Drago as well could be involved. And there's quite a few big names that could be involved in the Intercontinental Championship picture, as well as the Global Championship as well. I think the Intercontinental Championship in NJPW is generally very, very close to the main championship. There's no reason why we couldn't use the same sort of ideas, really. Just like on our WWE current day roster, we've got like Roman Reigns with the United States Championship. The next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules next week, we're going to have Daniel Bryan going for the Intercontinental Championship. So I think it's going to be a point in the Intercontinental Championship where it's going to be just very, very slightly underneath the main championship, but it's going to be pretty close. We're going to have some very big names going for it. Fenix, that big super kick to the running La Parka. La Parka using his Lucha Libre style skill there to catch Fenix with that arm drag. And La Parka now lining Fenix up. It looks like he's going to go for a sunset flip bomb, and he does. In for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Fenix nearly pinned there by La Parka. And we're stuck in one of these pinning combinations, which I thought wasn't going to happen in 2K16, but evidently it is still. Oh, but a Fenix kicks out. La Parka with a blow across the back. Now taking Fenix up into the electric chair drop. And La Parka's doing a fantastic job here, and you'd have to think a victory here for La Parka might make him the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Fenix dropping an elbow inside to the knee of La Parka. Fenix now with a Salida del Sol catching the legs of La Parka. Could this be all? 2 and 3. There you go. Fenix does pick up the victory. La Parka did very, very well there for quite a long period of time, but the cream always rises to the top, and in this case the cream was Fenix. Great job by him. And La Parka did very well. He put a great account of himself once again. But Fenix just had a bit too much for him this time. Clubbing blow across the back there by Fenix. And I'm just noticed Twittens is on. Twitter beside me is on, and I think there's a Progress Wrestling show going on at the moment. And the main event of that Progress Wrestling show was Will Ospreay versus Mark Andrews. And just judging by some of the tweets that are coming out, it was again another incredible match. And Will Ospreay versus Mark Andrews is always an incredible match. If you do get a chance to watch the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla DVDs, the Battle Los Angeles, I definitely suggest you do that, because that was one of the first round matches. And it sounds like once again Ospreay versus Andrews was again incredible. And I do want to get Will Ospreay in this universe mode. There is one on the community creations created by Dan Harrington, but the only problem is that it's got that line across his forehead, and I've been waiting to find a better version without that line across his forehead to be uploaded, but nothing has come along as of yet. Hopefully something will be soon though. But back to here this evening, great win here for Fenix, your Intercontinental Champion. And here is our next match of the evening. Talking of Mark Andrews, we're going to see him right now taking on Alex Shelley and Matt Sydal. And here we go with this triple threat match here this evening. And it's been an interesting one, this, because we know that Killshot is going to defend his Next Gen Championship against Pentagon Jr. at the G1 Climax Festival in a couple of weeks' time. But apart from that, the rankings are still pretty fuzzy, so a big victory here for either of these three guys would definitely place them very high up in the rankings. Matt Sydal here with a front headlock, taking Mark Andrews over. Sydal tripping Andrews now, and Alex Shelley. I will tell you, this is the second time I've recorded this match now. The first one was a bit of a joke of a finish, so I thought I'd restart the match. Basically what happened was Mark Andrews hit a corkscrew splash on the ground at Alex Shelley, which was fantastic, but then instead of going for the pin, he went for a taunt. So he was stood right above Alex Shelley, who was grounded, taunting away, and Matt Sydal just walked in and pinned him. And because when a computer guy starts a taunt, they don't stop the taunt until they're finished, Matt Sydal picked up the free count before Mark Andrews finished taunting. So, bit of a crappy finish, so I thought I'd redo it for you. I want to try and make sure we get the best episodes possible for you. I don't want to upload crap if I can avoid it. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, it's unavoidable. But I hope to not upload a lot of crap for you. Oh, great running kick there by Mark Andrews. And I was just talking about Mark Andrews towards the end of the last match, and yeah, it does look like he has just main evented a match over at Progress Wrestling against Will Ospreay, and it sounds like it was a fantastic match. Once again, those two guys, I've seen them wrestling several occasions over the last few years, starting off in Southside Wrestling, and they two of them are really absolute fantastic wrestlers, and I'm so glad that Mark Andrews got the opportunity to become a member of the TNA roster. Although TNA not using him as well as I really think they should do, he's a fantastic competitor, and I really think we should see more of him in TNA. But he's also started working quite a few of the American indies, as well as Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, so having Mark Andrews there is incredible. And Will Ospreay is also getting a good chance in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla as well. So it's great to finally see those guys getting the opportunities they deserve. The UK indie scene is really advanced a lot over the last few years. And yeah, I'm really hoping that a lot of these guys are going to get the sort of exposure they deserve as time goes on. I know there's a lot of UK talent been signed up to WWE over the last few years as well, which is great to see. And I know Mark Andrews and Will Ospreay are both booked for the next Pro Wrestling Guerrilla events, which are the All-Star Weekend taking place in December. Alex Shelley throwing Mark Andrews into that barrier. Oh, what a move that was. I've not seen that before in this game. Matt Sydal went for the German suplex, and Mark Andrews managed to flip out of it. Neckbreaker there by Alex Shelley on Matt Sydal. Remember, because this is a triple threat match, there's no disqualifications, no count-outs. This match will only end when there's a pinfall or submission within the confines of the ring. Hopefully it's going to be a better finish than the last one we just did. Clubbing blow across the back there by Mark Andrews now. Andrews throwing Alex Shelley into the barrier. That was slamming his face into the barrier as well. And Alex Shelley looking to return the favour, but Mark Andrews fights away with that boot to the stomach. And yeah, I do want to try and do Mark Andrews. I have got a Progress Wrestling Arena, which is pretty good. Of course, I've got a Mark Andrews call. I would like to get a Will Ospreay, but there's one Will Ospreay on the Community Creations at the moment. It has got a line across his forehead, which is quite annoying. But it might be okay. I'll have to download him again and see if he's any good. I know what the issue is. I think the issue is to do with the face import thing, where you can import a picture. So the face looks pretty good, just like this Mark Andrews is fantastic. But yeah, the import face is really good. But like I said, you can see the difference between where the face has been imported and the actual natural skin of the core as well. So hopefully that'll be fixed pretty soon. But then again, I think that might actually just be a glitch with the actual picture, because I've seen we've got the same thing with our Zack Sabre Jr. core. He looks a bit dodgy. He looks like he's got the line across his forehead. But when you get him in the ring, you can't notice the line at all. So maybe that's going to be the same thing with Will Ospreay. I might have to re-download him and see how that works. Oh, reverse DDT onto the knee there by Matt Sydal. After Alex Shelley has taken Mark Andrews out with them steel steps. Andrews is down. This is Sydal's opportunity here to maybe finish Shelley off. Mark Andrews is slowly getting back up to his knees and back up to his feet now. Back into the ring comes Mark Andrews. And I do prefer Fatal 4-Ways to Triple Threats, because Triple Threats are very, very grabby. Not a lot of people get an opportunity to do what they're trying to do, because the other guys in the ring will try and generally grab someone else. Alex Shelley there with a sliced bread. Shelley straight in with a pin. And Mark Andrews is there to break it up before the referee can even get down for a 1 count. There's a wise move by Alex Shelley. He's gone outside to get a chair. Mark Andrews has not seen him, but he's going to feel him straight away. The chair to the back of Mark Andrews by Alex Shelley. Shelley's now trying to get to the top rope, but he can't. Getting hold of that chair once again. And this time, Matt Sydal rolls away from it this time. But he can't roll away the second time. Big chair across the head there by Alex Shelley. Shelley now rolling Matt Sydal over into the pin he goes. Mark Andrews is just there in time to break it up. Andrews now throwing Shelley into that corner. Turns around. What has Andrews got planned here? Just taking Shelley down. Andrews dropping to the outside. Matt Sydal trying to get in between, but decides to avoid it. Mark Andrews with that drop kick. And Sydal with a kick to the side of the head of Mark Andrews, now trying to steal the pin. 2. Oh, and Alex Shelley kicked out. That would have been a fantastic finish. I would like that. I like that a lot. Mark Andrews hitting the high impact move, and then Matt Sydal coming along with a kick to the side of the head and still in the pin. That would have been quite clever. I like that. Great move there by Matt Sydal, almost like a stroke on Mark Andrews. Sydal now with a drop kick to the side of the head of Andrews once again. Alex Shelley bringing Andrews back up to his feet. Taking him up onto his shoulders. Onto the back now, and there is the package stunner. Matt Sydal and Alex Shelley. Sydal's going to go for the cheeky pin, but Shelley stood there. And you know what? I'm gonna have to do that, you know, because this is the 4th time I've done this now, and I'm so frustrated with this game because that's the 4th time that has happened in 4 attempts, and I just don't know how to stop it. So I think from now on we're gonna have to try and avoid triple threat matches because obviously they're not working. It seems to happen the same thing every single match I've done so far with these 3. It's ended the same way. Someone struggling with stamina goes into that little cinematic and they just stand there while somebody else picks up the 3 count. So I'm afraid, I know it's not a very good finish, but I'm going to have to leave it there. And I think we'll just avoid triple threat matches for now. We'll just stick to fatal 4-ways, I think. But apart from that, it was a very good match. We saw some really good maneuvers. And Matt Sydal just seems so clever at sneaking in and getting these little pins. And there you see Alex Shelley going into this little cinematic of being worn out. Look at him just looking down at Matt Sydal, he gets the 3 count. And it's just, yeah, this game, 2K, you need to fix quite a lot of the bugs and just the simple things in this game. And hopefully they will be patching that out pretty soon. But I think for now, we'll probably steer away from triple threat matches. Like I say, I've already recorded this a few times now, and I just can't record anymore to have the same finish over and over again. And our next match here this evening is going to be the global champion AJ Styles taking on Jushin Thunder Liger. And here we go. And Jushin Liger's not been having the best time of recent in our universe mode. Of course, lost his Intercontinental Championship a few weeks back at the first episode of Amped against Fenix. And very recently lost his Cruiserweight Championship in the Attitude Era as well in a Fatal 4-Way ladder match to Dean Malenko. So it's not been a great time for Jushin Liger over the last few weeks. But a big victory here of the global champion AJ Styles will definitely improve his luck. Of course, AJ Styles, we know, is going to be defending his his global championship against Kazuchika Okada next week. That's going to be an interesting one, that. It really is. Okada earned that opportunity on the first episode of Amped as well. So I'm looking forward to that, of course. It's great to see our first global championship defense is going to be on Amped and not a pay-per-view. That's because our first pay-per-view is going to be the big G1 Climax Festival. It's going to be a 7-day pay-per-view and the champion is going to be involved, whether that be Okada or AJ Styles. So because of that, we are going to have the championship match the week before. Big arm breaker there by Jushin Liger. Liger now lining AJ Styles up, bringing AJ back up to his feet. Oh, great trip there. And if you want to have a look at the arena we're going to use for the G1 Climax, there is going to be a random match. Well, there should be a random match already uploaded. It was uploaded on Sunday between Kurt Angle and Kyle O'Reilly. And we're using the New Japan Pro Wrestling Arena for that random match. And it really is an absolutely cracking arena. I'm really looking forward to using that. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to have a quick video, probably in a couple of videos' time, just to go through the draw. And basically, I'll just write all 16 guys down on a piece of paper, put them in a hat, and I'll draw them right here. And we'll discuss who is in what group. AJ Styles sliding to the outside, and maybe AJ wants out of this match as he's underneath the ring. He's got a sledgehammer. Jushin Liger backing away, and AJ went to use that sledgehammer. Jushin Liger wrestles it away from him, and AJ Styles looking to get himself intentionally disqualified in this match. That's probably a wise thing to do. He knows he's got that big match next week, and he does not want to risk picking up too much of an injury here this evening against the former Intercontinental Champion and the Japanese legend that is Jushin Thunder Liger. So AJ trying to take the easy way out there, but Jushin Liger did catch him. And we have seen that a few times this universe mode. People do like to get themselves disqualified every now and again. There's Liger with a Liger bomb on the outside. You know what? This is a Falls Count Anywhere match, isn't it? I did not realise that. It's just twigged to me this is a Falls Count Anywhere match. Liger there with the brainbuster on AJ Styles. That's why AJ was trying to use the weapon. He's allowed to. Liger could have this here. And Liger does. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That has just thrown Global Force Wrestling wide open, ladies and gentlemen. Jushin Thunder Liger, in the same week that he's lost his Intercontinental Championship and his Cruiserweight Championship, has now picked up a victory over the Global Force Wrestling Global Champion. And that is just, like I said, thrown this whole thing wide open. What do we do now? Well, I think we have to have Jushin Liger involved in this G1 Climax Festival. That's for sure. He has to be involved in the tournament now. He must have earned himself a place in there. But what a great victory this has been for Jushin Thunder Liger. A very quick victory as well. And here is the man who must be rubbing his hands together after seeing that result. Kazuchika Okada, the #1 contender for the Global Championship. He's going to be taking on Rey Mysterio Jr. And here we go. As what is this? Is this... Here comes AJ Styles, fresh off a loss to Jushin Thunder Liger, making his way out to ringside here to maybe distract Kazuchika Okada. And it's having a great effect here. AJ looks to be in the head of Okada. And talking of heads, Rey Mysterio still has that lump on his forehead. That's a shame. AJ claiming he is just here to sit down and watch proceedings. Let's see if AJ gets himself involved at all. And here we go. And unfortunately, there is a glitch in the game. And I did moan very early on in this universe mode when I did download a wrestler. And they had a very, very funky thing going on. It was a Rey Mysterio core. And he had a very, very funky forehead going on. And I moaned thinking it was the core creator had made some sort of mistake. But it now seems that there is a problem with masked wrestlers on the game. As you can see, Rey Mysterio has a lump on his forehead for no apparent reason. Which is a shame. It is a shame. And that's why I've tried to been avoiding the Rey Mysterio random matches until that gets fixed. It's a shame, yeah. There's Okada here doing pretty well to start things off. Of course, like I said, we are going to see Okada versus AJ Styles next week for the Global Championship. Okada must be rubbing his hands together after seeing Styles pick up a loss to Jushin Thunder Liger in the very last match. But now you see AJ Styles is sat at ringside as well. Is AJ Styles going to get involved in this match at all? And yeah, I'm just a little bit worried that maybe our other feuds have been deleted as well. I'm hoping not, and I don't understand why, because I've not changed anything. I've not adjusted anything, so I'm not quite sure why the feuds just have stopped working. We've already seen it in our current day roster. We had a feud between Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan just disappear inexplicably. And now it looks like we're going to get the same thing here in Global Force Wrestling. Of course, these are the only two brands so far that have feuds, and if these two, the only two brands with feuds, are both having problems, it just seems like it must be a very, very common issue. It's not just something that's happening every now and again. Of course, we'll start our Attitude Era feuds very, very soon as well. They're going to start this week in a few days' time. And of course, like I said, in the Attitude Era pay-per-view, if you drop to the Backlash pay-per-view and write down in the comment section below who you think or who you would like to see in a feud in the Attitude Era, and then we will be putting those feuds together, hopefully over the next month or so. What I'm basically going to do is all you guys that put feuds out, if other people want to like the feuds that people have suggested, and then the ones with the most likes are the ones we will go ahead with. If there's only two people suggest feuds, then we'll just go ahead with the two and so forth. Rey Mysterio here with a pin on Kazuchika Okada. 2. It's only enough for a 2 count, but still a lot more than what Okada was hoping for, really. Rey Mysterio bringing Okada back up to his feet, but Okada with a big knee to the face of Mysterio. Okada now rolling Mysterio over. There's a clubbing blow to the back, but Mysterio still manages to fight through and get back up to his feet. Okada there with a snapmare on Mysterio. Mysterio with the front headlock now, pulling Okada towards these ropes. Mysterio throwing Okada to the outside. Is he going to go for a dive? It looks like he might very well be. Big dive over the top rope there by Rey Mysterio. High risk maneuver. This time pays off. But will it be enough to get him a bit more control in this match? Referee up to a 2 count as Okada makes way back into the ring. Okada now taking Mysterio up. Has him for a tombstone pile driver. Is that going to be enough for Okada? 1, 2, and 3. But we all saw that, didn't we? We all saw that Rey Mysterio had a hold of that bottom rope, but the referee did not see it. And Okada picks up a lucky victory here. Like I said, Mysterio, unlucky there. He did have a hold of the bottom rope. That should have been a rope break. Referee did not see it. And Okada's looking in good shape here. He's picked up a victory against one of the harder members of the Global Force roster in Rey Mysterio Jr. Of course, we saw AJ Styles in the previous match lose to Jushin Thunder Liger. So Okada's definitely going into next week's championship match with the momentum advantage. Is that going to be enough to take him through, though? So you see this big dive here by Rey Mysterio. What a great move that was. Okada slides back into the ring and just brings Rey Mysterio straight up into the tombstone pile driver. And we'll see here, Rey Mysterio did have a hold of that bottom rope, but the referee did not see it. You see Okada go into the pin. See the referee's in a very bad position. He just can't see Rey Mysterio's hand at all. And it was a good victory by Okada, a lucky victory nonetheless. But the record books are always going to show an Okada victory. They're not going to show Rey Mysterio's hand on the rope. And the momentum is firmly in the place of Okada going forward to that big global championship match next week here on Amped. And here we see an update on the rivalry. Intensity is building between champion AJ Styles and Kazuchika Okada after their confrontation. So that has given Okada, now he's got himself a momentum boost, and he's got himself the momentum boost you get from a feud as well. Rey Mysterio unfortunately has got nothing out of that, but he has become slightly more prideful. So as you can see, some people have changed some of these stats. Some people haven't. Some people have left them. Oh, we're now showing Okada and AJ Styles as allies. That's an interesting one. So basically they're trying to build an Okada versus AJ Styles friendly feud, by the looks of it. That's interesting. It's very interesting. I think as the further we get into the universe mode, these feuds become a bit more realistic as we start to build up more relationships and enemies as well. So yeah, that's very interesting that. But Okada, as you can see by the status effects, is definitely looking like the favourite in that championship match next week on Amped. And here we have our main event here. It's going to be Drago taking on the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion Chris Hero. And here we go with our main event here this evening. It is the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion Chris Hero taking on Drago. Now, not entirely sure what we are doing yet with our G1 Climax Festival. I want to have Chris Hero in there, but at the same time, I don't want Chris Hero to become too overpowered in this universe mode, if that makes sense. Chris Hero already holds the Ring of Honor heavyweight championship, and I'm just a little bit dubious from last year from having the same person holding several championships at the same time, because it is something that does happen. Of course, last year Brian Cage and Drake Younger both became almost invincible, so I want to try and stay away from that as much as I possibly can. And I think we probably will have Chris Hero involved. We can't not. He's one of the top guys in Global Force Wrestling here, as you can see by main event in this episode of Global Force Wrestling Amped. But yeah, I don't want to have the same champion holding 2 belts at the same time if I can stay away from it. But at the end of the day, if that's what the game wants, that's what the game wants. We'll go along with it. Jawbreaker there by Drago. Drago bringing Chris Hero back up to his feet. Referee still counting. Drago with the big kicks to the leg of Chris Hero, but Hero catches him, and there's that belly-to-belly slam. Referee up to a 7 count here, and Drago does make it back into the ring. Fisherman suplex there by Chris Hero, straight into the pin. Hero now with the drop kick to the back of Drago. And a big senton splash by Chris Hero as well, bringing Drago back up to his feet. Hero now into the pin. Referee incredibly slowed down once again. He always is. It's only enough for a 2 count. Hero now taking Drago up, and this could be a very short match here as Hero hits the tombstone piledriver on Drago. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. No, Drago kicks out. Drago rolls through, and there's a boot to the side of the head of Chris Hero. Drago rolling Hero over. Drago's going to go for the pin now. It's only enough for a 1 count. Drago now with the elbows to the head of Chris Hero. Drago bringing Hero back up to his feet. Sending Hero against the ropes, and now Drago sending Hero to the outside. And what does Drago have planned here? Looks like he's going to go for a dive, and is this a risk against the young knockout kid, Chris Hero? Yes, it is, as Hero takes 1 step to his side, and Drago hits the ground hard. Referee up to a 2 count as Chris Hero makes her back into the ring. Drago there picking up a head of steam with 2 big clotheslines, bringing Chris Hero back up to his feet. Big tornado DDT on Hero by Drago. Drago into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only enough for a 2 count. Drago now rolling through with Hero, and there's a big kick to the upper chest, and what a great camera angle that was for that particular move. Drago sending Hero into the corner. Boot to the stomach, and now a few headbutts as well, and Hero draped across that bottom rope. And what is Drago looking for here? Lining Hero up. Big drop kick to the side of the head. Drago back into the ring, goes for a pin. Oh, and again, Chris Hero kicks out. Wow, how has he done that? Drago trying to continue the assault now, bringing Chris Hero back up to his feet. The Hero sending Drago over the top. Hero now lining up. Drago, what does he have planned here? There's the big elbow to the back of the head of Drago, and surely that is going to be all here this evening. In for the pin goes Chris Hero. No! Drago kicks out now as well. I'm beginning to lose faith in Chris Hero's hard-hitting moves here. Drago bringing Hero back up to his feet. Big kick to the head there by Drago. In for the pin he goes once again. 1, 2. Oh, referee, your hand hit the mat 3 times then. Your hand hit the mat 3 times. We all saw it. Drago lining Chris Hero up once again. Creating a little bit of space, and there's a big kick to the side of the head of Chris Hero. Drago glitching out a little bit there. Now rolling Hero over into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and again, it's only a 2 count. Wow. This match is just incredible. What a fantastic main event this has been to our Global Force Wrestling Amped show here. There's that crossroads style move there by Chris Hero. Bringing Drago into the middle of the ring. Is this going to be enough? 2 and 3, and it is. Finally, Chris Hero picks up the victory over Drago. Your Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion Chris Hero, who has yet to lose a single match here in this Universe mode. He's wrestled 2 Champion versus Championship matches on Ring of Honor television. Once against Matt Sydal, picking up the victory, and once again Zack Sabre Jr. picked up the victory. Of course, he defended his championship successfully against Kyle O'Reilly at the Mystery Vortex pay-per-view, and defeating here now Drago in the main event of Global Force Wrestling Amped. Of course, he also won the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship tournament. So Chris Hero is yet to lose a single match here on 2K16. Really is showing that he is a force to be reckoned with. As we see just some of the highlights of this match. There's Chris Hero with that tombstone power driver. But of course that was not enough to finish this match off. As we see, only a 2 count. And I could not believe how many near falls we had in this match. It was quite incredible, really. Chris Hero, there he was at the crossroads. That's what finished Drago off eventually. It took a lot of big high impact moves from Chris Hero, but it was finally that one that finished Drago off. So there you go, Chris Hero victorious here, busted open, but victorious nonetheless on Global Force Wrestling Amped in our main event. And that is the end of this episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then be sure to hit that like button. And of course, hit that thumbs up button as well for all of the fantastic cores and the arena that have been using this show as well. Of course, make sure you subscribe for a lot more 2K16 footage, as well as some other little random bits and bobs that I intend to upload in the near future. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for NXT.